Hello Aquarius, and welcome to a Brush with Magick Tarot. My name is Jessica and I will be doing a general reading for the sign of Aquarius. Now this message is timeless, so it finds you when it is meant for you in that timing. Alright, and if this message does not resonate with you because it is a general reading, just leave it behind for someone else. Alright, so let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing we're going to do is I am going to start with a nice oracle card just to kind of give us an idea of what the general energy for your reading today will be. Alright, so let's see what Aquarius's overall theme for your reading is going to be today. Oh, this one fell right out. So this is the card that fell out for you guys today. It says, it's possible to work your way out of doubt. Practice focusing on good thoughts like what can be and what is becoming instead of what is. It's possible to work your way out of doubt. Oh, I really like that. Are you doubting yourself, Aquarius? Are we overthinking and second guessing? Yeah, that is a normal place to be at, especially as we're coming out of difficult situations. You know, we've kind of conditioned ourselves to not trust ourselves anymore, or to think that maybe we did something wrong because something has happened that wasn't exactly what we thought, right? So let's look at your overall energy as we start the reading, just to see where you're currently where you're sitting, what thoughts you might be working through right now, or situations, and then we can look at what's incoming and then some advice. All right, so let's go ahead and tap into what the Aquarius general energy is. Let's see if we can nail down the free spirit of Aquarius here. Let's see. Oh my goodness, you literally just had three just plop out all at once. All right, let's see what we have here. We have the Lovers. We have the Five of Wands, and we have Temperance in reverse. So let me show you here. We have our Lovers. Okay. We have our Five of Wands, and it's like this snake here. I have wands kind of growing out of it here, like so. And then we have Temperance. Now this one did come out in reverse. So you actually have two major arcana cards here, and two major arcanas are a stronger energy that's going to last a little bit longer, whereas these little minor cards here that are like, you know, wands and coins and things, these ones are going to be like more of a current energy that you might be feeling for a couple days, maybe a week at most, but kind of, it's just kind of like the day-to-day, whereas the major are kind of like what's going on and like you're feeling around you as you work through these different feelings and situations, right? So with that being said, so the Lovers is a beautiful card. It's very much this card of harmony and unity and kind of coming together. And even though it is lovers, it doesn't necessarily need to be like this is about a relationship, although it could be about a kind of partnership or something that is developing and growing and all these things, right? And with our Five of Wands here, you know, you can see here that we have our little snake friend here, and it has these wands kind of growing out. So there's definitely this, this pain that's going on, right? There's hurt that's happening, right? And, you know, we do have this two-headed snake, which also is a pretty big indication of betrayal or things that didn't go well. So it seems, depending on what you're currently working on and also with the things that are going on around you, this could be something as far as you were in some sort of relationship, does not have to be romantic, and there was a betrayal, there was hurt that happened, and you're currently in recovery of this event, but this also could be something within yourself as well, because we did get Temperance in reverse, which I read this as this is what's happening on internally. And so there's this sense of having patience to find yourself again, having patience to recover from this hurt and this pain, and to really be okay with this self in a sense, because when we want to have this unity, right? We want to have whatever this Lovers is, right? This can be an actual lovers relationship, but it can also be platonic. It can be family relationships. And it's like there's this desire for this unity. This is what you want. But you currently find yourself in a place of just hurt and pain. And this could even just be, you've come from this place of hurt and pain, and you're wanting to move on from it, but it keeps just pulling you back in. And it's this doubt, like with our oracle card that we got here, that you kind of have this doubt, like you're not really believing in yourself anymore. You're doubting where you sit. Like, you can do it. And this is the thing. Logically, it feels like you're like, oh no, I can get through this. I know that I'm strong enough to get through this. I know that this was bad for me, and technically, yes, it's not my fault that this happened, or I know logically I need to be in a different place, but emotionally it's just there's this pain here, and it's like you're starting to think, well, was I the two-headed snake in this situation? Was I the problem in this situation? Right? But Temperance is here to remind us that we need to have patience with ourselves. We need to be kinder to ourselves. You need to allow yourself space to heal, to let things kind of fall into place instead of trying to rush through it, right? Because Temperance, there's so much patience in Temperance. So much patience. And that might not be something you really want to hear, because, when we go through something horrible, we're just like, okay, let's just hurry up and get through it. Or if there's some sort of a life change, we're like, oh, let's just hurry up and get through it. I just want to be at the end of this. And then in that sense, it makes it difficult because we don't want to really sit in it. But Temperance is asking you to slow down, to look at what you really need, not what you want, but what you need, and to allow yourself that space. And I feel like a lot of you have realized that's what you need to do, because this is your current energy. So it feels that if you haven't accepted that you need Temperance, but it feels like a lot of you have accepted that part, and you're taking that time, right? And what's interesting here is that, a lot of times people talk about a two-headed snake, right? Like, where it's always a bad thing. But in this image, it is not the two-headed snake attacking itself. It's actually outside sources doing that. So to look at where you're at and accept the good, the bad, the in-between, and recognize you're all part of, all those bits of you are part of you, Aquarius. And I know a lot of people talk about how Aquariuses are just kind of, what is it, like, kind of, I don't want to say woo-woo, because it's not necessarily woo-woo, but you're just like, you're a very free spirit, right? You're very free spirit. You're very unique in that way, where, like, I feel out of all the zodiac signs, you guys are kind of like, Luna Lovegood is coming into my mind. Odd One, like, I don't know if you've ever heard that song before, but like those kind of things are kind of coming into my head. And so it's like you've tried to fit somewhere and you're like, oh, I don't fit, so there's something wrong with me, when in fact it's just that's not where you belong, right? You belong where you can exist in your two-headed snakeness, and no one's going to look like, oh, what a weird looking creature. You're going to be like, oh, wow, look at the beauty that is here, right? And having the temperance and the patience to discover that within yourself and have that acceptance, because it's such a beautiful thing to be able to accept all parts of yourself, right? And I'm not saying that is like easy. Again, patience is here for a reason. It takes time. It's okay some days to not be okay. It's so, you know, it's a journey. It is such a journey to get into a place where we have full acceptance of ourselves while also healing those wounds, because that is a big feat. Do not mistake that this is not a big feat, but it absolutely is. And it just feels that your current energy is very much in this place of wanting to heal, and you're wanting to show the world that you can do anything, because you know you can. And I feel like people constantly underestimate you, and that is your greatest weapon. Like, that is like the best thing, because you're constantly, and yes, it'll be frustrating at times, but that is such a gift, because no matter where you go, if people always underestimate, then that you can always take advantage of that situation and put yourself in a place of like, well, see what happens when you underestimate me, right? But as far as current energy is concerned, it is a beautiful beginning. And I have all the faith in the world that you're going to be able to handle this. But however you decide to go forward with this, do it in your way. Do it in your Aquarius way, okay? Don't try to appease or do it in a way that someone else, like, really, you know, not all healing processes, not all courses, not all therapists, not, you know, there's so many different resources out there for a reason. So find what works for you, and don't be afraid to follow your gut in that, because there is doubt here. But that's usually the first thing that gets kind of shaken up when we're coming out of a situation. So really look into what works for you. Okay. Yeah. So let's see what your incoming energy is. It was like, I didn't even have a chance to ask the questions already. The cards are like, okay, stop yapping. I want to come. My turn. Okay. Let's see. What is your incoming energy? Incoming energy here. Oh, you were so chatty a second ago, and now we're slowing down. All right, I need 2 more cards here at least. Give me 2 more cards at least. My beautiful Aquariuses. Oh, what? Oh, okay. It's like, oh, you want 2? Let me give you more than 2. Here we go. All right. Oh, goodness. Okay. Wow. So I'm taking all of these. All right. I'm not leaving a single one out. Wow. I think this is the most cards that I've ever, like, popped out when it comes to what is your incoming. You have lots of stuff headed your way. Beautiful new beginnings. Okay. So I'll just list off all the ones first, and then we'll go through them and see what we can get from this. Okay, so we have our 4 of Cups. And I love this deck. This deck, it was a collaboration with multiple artists, so it's so beautiful. We have 3 of Coins here. The Empress. Now remember, this is a major arcana, so this is big energy. 3 of Cups. 4 of Swords. Let's see, will that focus for me? Come on, focus. There it goes. 4 of Swords. The World. Ace of Swords. And Page of Coins. Okay. So. Okay. So I'm just going to go through this one by one, and we're going to see how they're all talking to each other. All right. So we have the 4 of Cups, which is a very, like, apathetic, right? And it was in reverse. So this incoming energy, and I do believe this is kind of coming out of what your current energy is, right? Because you're kind of in this current energy of, like, knowing that, okay, things need to move forward. There's a lot of hurt, there's pain, but have patience with yourself, right? So our 4 of Cups here is definitely, I feel like a side effect of that, right? Because when we go through hard times, a lot of the things that used to light us up kind of make us dim, right? And depending on what situation you're coming out of, there's so many times in these spaces where we kind of lose ourselves a little bit in the relationships that we're in. And it doesn't matter. This doesn't have to be a romantic relationship. This can be very much with platonic relationships as well, because we become caregivers. We become the person that fixes everything, depending on what your family dynamics are. Plus, with romantic relationships, becoming a mother, becoming a parent, there's so many instances where in life we tend to lose ourselves. This can even be a work relationship. So whatever you're coming out of, you're recognizing this incoming energy is kind of waking you up to how much of yourself you've lost along the way. Because again, this is in reverse. So this is something we're dealing with internally. And everything can be fine on the outside to everybody else, but inside you're just like, something is just not right here, right? And we have this beautiful energy. We have so usually there tends to be like a very heavy amount of one suit or another, right? We have coins, which is material things. We have, and this is very general, coins, very material things. We have swords, that is thought and creativity, wands, passion and creativity. And we have, which one? Oh, cups, which is emotional things. Okay. So you have a very good balance of cups, swords, coins, and wands. So this is really good because it definitely feels that you're kind of looking at everything more as a whole right now and recognizing, I'm not where I want to be, but where do I want to go? Or I'm not in it. And you could be good in your career, but maybe personally you're like, this isn't where I really want to be. So I kind of want to move this energy around, right? So we have our Three of Cups, and you also have a Three of Coins here, which is great because we have these repetitive numbers 3 and 3. Okay. And with both of these, it is about community. So Three of Cups is about community with, in celebration, very sisterhood energy, right? And just because it's sisterhood energy does not mean that it can't be applied to everybody. This is just that feminine, sisterhoodness coming together. So that can be applied in other aspects as well. All of us have masculine and feminine energy in us. So this is that very much that feminine energy coming together in celebration under the guise of sisterhood, right? And celebrating those little wins, right? Then our Three of Coins is also about community, but it's more about collaboration and finding your people, right? Finding looking at a situation where you're like, oh, this is where I want to be. So how do I get there? Let me find the people within the community, or let me find people that I look up to that are already there. And let me see if they'll be willing to mentor, to guide, to do all these different things. And interesting enough, both of these cards have these little frogs in them. Look, she's got these little frogs here, and she has a little frog on her shoulder and everything. And look at all these little guys everywhere, right? And it's such a beautiful mirroring energy, and having this in the Empress, right? And this could be your energy, or this could be someone else's energy as well. But this very mothery kind of figure. Now you'll notice that this one specifically, she has these flowers and everything. So it's not so much of a mother in the sense of oh, you have to be a mother, but mother in the sense of that this is energy of being mothered, of being nurtured, of taken care of, right? And I feel that this is what you're doing with yourself. This is a bit of yourself that you're picking up, and you realize that this is the bit that needs to be nurtured, and you're nurturing that within yourself. And you're taking that, this opportunity of this energy of recognizing, right? This is what's incoming. Okay. So you're recognizing within yourself, life just doesn't light me up like it used to. Let me go back. Let me find that bit of myself that I feel like I've lost, and let me cultivate, let me nurture, right? Now through this process, rest is necessary. So we have our Four of Swords here, which is all about rest. And just, I saw a quote the other day that talked about how rest is not a reward for restlessness, I think is what it said. So you don't need to be outwardly doing everything under the sun in order to give yourself rest. And I don't think a lot of us recognize how important rest actually is, because we're constantly stimulated, especially in today's world with screens and everything. We have that constant stimulation. And so our brains just never have a time to shut down, to shut off. And your brain is the part that needs that healing. It needs that rest so then it can function and do everything else that it needs to do for the body. And a lot of times it's like this feeling of there's so much to do, and when we're tired and we don't give ourselves that rest, we lose that because our brains don't have the energy, the capability to push forward. So let yourself rest. And even if it's like, and it doesn't even need to be like physical rest too. If you need to take a break from people, if you need to take a step back from situations, give yourself that break and recognize where that's at. Give yourself permission to do this. You don't need permission to do it from anyone else, just yourself. Okay, this is the relationship for you, right? So really be mindful of that and communicate with people, like especially like if you are in like with kids and stuff, and like there's like you have a strong safe group of people around you, kind of let them know what you're doing and discuss it with them, right? Because you never know what people are going through, and they might actually be able to be a support, right? A community, right? Of people supporting you in this. Because you don't have to just go at it alone. Like I feel like a lot of times you feel like we have to go at it alone. Now, if this isn't safe, right? Safe people. The people you feel safe with, that you feel like you can be yourself with. Because I know that is so important for you, especially for my Aquarius peeps, okay? So you guys need to be in this space where you're unmasking, right? Because we all have to theoretically mask, like it's part of life. However, when you're doing it to the point where it is literally killing your creative soul, it's killing you on the inside, that's when we need to reevaluate what's going on, because that's not okay, right? Because you should be allowed to be your authentic self, to be who you are, and not feel that pressure that you need to be, anything for anyone else except for yourself, right? Okay, so let's look at the World card here. So we have the World, and then we have the Ace of Swords, and then we have the Page of Pentacles. Okay, so this is also incoming. So with all of this happening, you have this opportunity. The world is your oyster. You are reforming what it is that you even want, right? You have these new ideas, these new things that are coming your way, and that in Swords are all about thoughts and creativity and things like that, right? So we have this new beginning, but also the world is an ending as well. So it's like there's this beautiful ending that's happening that will allow you to create the world that you need for yourself. And you have all these beautiful new ideas, and you need to trust those ideas. Whatever that is, whatever the ideas are, and it can be, you just asking questions about where you see yourself in 5 years, where you see yourself in 10 years, like how do you want your world to look, right? And then we have the Page of Coins, which is new opportunities. And it's not just new opportunities in the sense of, oh, this is something new that I want to try. It's new opportunities in the sense of that there is potential for new business, for entrepreneurship, even just new work or a job that you'll like, and a way to sustain your life in a way that's going to bring you happiness, that's going to make you feel like you're more aligned with who you really are as a person, right? And that's what's most important, is that you are allowing yourself this space to do that, because obviously all of us don't want to just exist in the world. We want to live in it, right? We want to live and breathe and feel, and there's so much creativity in you. And recognize the ideas that are just like good ideas, but then also recognize the ideas that you're just like, well, I have been thinking about trying this class for a long time now, so let me go try that and see where that leads. Or get an idea of where you want to be, and then just be open to whatever journey unfolds as you try to get there. And this opportunity will be here for you, for there to be an opportunity for a new job, a new life situation, and regardless of what's going on in the world, right? Because what you're doing is you're creating your own world here. And I feel like I need to specify specifically that regardless of what's going on in the world. You can't control everything in the world, so you need to focus on the things that you can control. Because if you try to control everything, you're just going to get overwhelmed and you're going to get overstimulated, and it's just, that's not good for anyone. All right. So just little steps at a time, right? Little steps. And if you have the energy to go and take the leap and sprint, then go for it. But again, still be mindful of our rest and be mindful that temperance is still here. Okay. So don't forget, like, you need to have patience for things that are going to be unfolding, right? Because the world is an end, but it is also a beginning. So you have to kind of work around that. All right, so let's go ahead and see what your advice is. Goodness. All right, so we have, oh, look at this. We have two kings, the King of Cups and the King of Coins. Look at this. So this can be people in your life. So again, it doesn't have to be, these are kings, but it doesn't have to be men. It can be someone that has a strong masculine energy. The King of Cups is a king who is a master of his emotions. And when I say master of emotions, I mean master of emotions. He knows when to feel that sadness. He knows when to be empathetic. He knows when to be sympathetic. He knows when to have joy and when to use anger, right? Because people always make it sound like anger is bad, but actually anger is still an emotion and you're allowed to have that, but he knows when to execute it. He's very in tune with his body, right? He knows, okay, is this anger or is this anxiety? Is this sadness or is it fear? You know, because sometimes emotions will present to us differently, especially if we don't know how to feel the other emotions. So let's say that the emotion you feel the most is anxiety. Well, then all emotions are going to start feeling anxious if we're not sitting within the body and we're not actually feeling everything. Same with anger. Anger is a big one too. A lot of times people are like, oh, are you angry? Or are you just, you know, you feel embarrassed, but it comes out as anger, right? So there's all these different things, and he's the master of that. And then we have the King of Coins, and the King of Coins, again, is a king that shows up. He's a reliable king. He's dependable. He will show up every single time, make sure that his people are taken care of. And he does not hoard anything. He gives where it is, he gives where there is a need, right? And this is, in this being in your advice section, I'm going to draw one more just to give us a third. Yeah, and Six of Coins. Six of Coins. Again, another coins. So this is a card of a, you have enough to where you can be like, I have enough and I can help the people around me kind of card. However, with everything that's here, okay, you need to recognize, okay, I'm going to put this one in between our kings. You need to recognize when you need to be charitable to others, but then you also need to recognize where you need to be charitable to yourself. Because I feel like you're going to see this card, you'll be like, oh yeah, my purpose in life is to excel in life so that way I can help every single person around me. No. Not saying that you can't help people, because you absolutely can. It is great to be a generous heart, to not hoard. That is a selfless and wonderful aspect to have, a part of yourself. Absolutely. That's a beautiful thing. But girl, right now, what we're doing is we are cultivating ourselves first, right? We are in this place. Remember our snake here? Okay. Not looking the best. You need to take care of yourself before you can take care of others. You need to recognize when boundaries need to be set. You need to start building your foundation. And that means being generous with yourself, being kind to yourself. Look at the way you grow into this very beautiful masculine energy. And masculine energy is an energy of action. It is an energy of putting in the work, right? Kings don't, I mean, yes, kings do become kings because, you know, they're born into it, right? But kings protect their kingdoms. They got work to do. They're not just sitting around doing nothing, right? And if they are, they're not really good kings. And these can also represent people in your life that are surrounding you right now that have this beautiful masculine protective energy, and to allow them to do that for you, right? Don't deny the people in your life that want to help you, because you know how good it feels when you get to help other people around you. Don't deny the people that want to help you that same gift, right? Because you know how good it feels to be charitable. Let them do that to you. And take action. Know where you want to go. Know where you need to align better with yourself, and feel your body. So many times we want to escape it so quickly that we forget that it's a part of life. We need to feel, we need to feel it in order to heal, right? And then we have this energy where whatever this world that you're creating, you will get there. You will be able to rule your kingdom, and it will be yours, and it will be your authentic self that rules this kingdom. But just take the action, find the steps, find the community, find the people that will allow you to move into that space, because with where you're sitting right now, what's incoming, it's a perfect lineup for you to level up, to really work on this next phase of yourself. And don't be afraid of that. Phases and cycles, we have seasons for a reason. Everything in nature cycles, and so do we, even though we don't really see it as much of a good thing as often as we should. But, we go through ebbs and flows in our life, and you're coming out of something. But when you're coming out of it, it's not as somebody that is helpless. It's somebody that is ready to do the work, that is ready to show everyone what they're made of, right? Because remember that they always underestimate you. That's what I keep hearing. They always underestimate you. So show them what a king you actually are, right? Show them that, because they're going to underestimate it. Okay. So, goodness, that was so much coming in, Aquarius. You're going to do great. This is, I know it's very intimidating, and it can be a little overwhelming, but just one step at a time, and you got this. You are right. Let's live in an Aquarius world, shall we? Let's feel it. Let's go wild, right? Okay. I'm going to pull an oracle card for you now. And this oracle card has poems in it instead of definitions, which I love this because it kind of allows anybody that hears it to maybe receive a different message than what's necessarily written. It makes it a little bit more personable, that if you tap into your intuition, that you might be able to hear something that's specifically for you, right? So let's see what we get here. Mind. So here's what the card looks like. Mind. Let's see what the poem is. Mind. The mind is like a rabbit's burrow that keeps a den of stories and scenes. You easily can fall into one of them and think you are living in a world when really you are playing out a recurring dream. Wake up from the personalized movie theater. Loop reruns of our fears and desires and projecting our judgments back to us. These mad thoughts are just like the poor rabbit who runs around exhausting themselves. Watch how they scurry without having to follow them into a hollow underground. That sounds exactly like so many Aquariuses I know, but just people in general. Very good. Wake up from the personalized movie theater. I really like that. Beautiful message. Beautiful. Trust yourself, Aquarius. Trust yourself. Usually when we're overthinking, it's because we doubt ourselves. Trust yourself. All right. I'm going to pull a oracle card from the Spirit Animal Oracle deck. So let's see, beautiful Aquariuses, what animal is meant for you today? Lizard spirit. That's great. Snakes and lizards. Love it, love it, love it. And frogs. I mean, I know frogs technically aren't lizards, but we got like these little green guys everywhere. Dream the world into being. Number 38. Dream the world into being. When was the last time you basked in the sun and allowed yourself to daydream, to imagine what might be and who you might become? Lizard spirit appears when you are called to let your imagination flow and dream something new. Inspiration is available to you now if you are willing to slow down and let your eyes close a little, allowing ideas to dance in your head. What might come into being if you were to pursue your dreams? How might you grow and expand if you allow yourself to dare to believe in the impossible, making it possible first in your dreaming mind and then in the world as you co-create with spirit? Give in to the power of imagination, and soon your dreams will become clearer. The steps will reveal themselves, and what was ephemeral will begin to oscillate into form. Oscillate into form? Hopefully I'm saying that right. Dream it and be it. Spirit asks you to dare to dream big. Wow. That is so great, because that's exactly like with mind, it was more about endless rabbit holes and worry, and this one is how we use our minds for good. And what a beautiful mind you have, Aquarius. You do. You have a remarkable mind. So use your powers for good, right? Because you have a world to create. All right, my beautiful Aquarius, that is your reading. Thank you so much if you've made it this far, and hit that subscribe button if you want to stick around for more readings. I do personal readings, and the link to that will be in the description. But for now, just remember that you are loved and you are worthy. I'll see you next time. Bye.